As you know, making sure endpoint performing at their peak is critical to your infrastructure and end user experience because they serve as the main point of access to your network. That's why I want to demonstrate to you how EG can help you with performance monitoring of your endpoints. So let's dive deep into it to see how EG can help. With EG Enterprise, monitoring Windows desktops and laptops is easy because of the minimum configuration and the low resource overhead used to collect data. Within the EG user interface, you have a single view of all of your users' experience and endpoint performance, and monitoring automatically include metrics for Wi-Fi, ISP, and internet latency at the endpoint. So basically, anywhere there is slowness, we can detect it, whether it's the router or local internet. Other desktop performance metrics include with EG monitoring are browser resource usage, GPU utilization, application launch time, and many more. By collecting all of these endpoint metrics, EG is enabling desktop admins like yourself to diagnose end user problems with empirical data. Let's take a look at a few examples inside of the EG interface. So here within the infrastructure overview, we have one group of physical desktop with an alert. So let's look into this group and figure out why it's showing this. So this screen will list all of your laptops and desktop that belong to that group. And across the top, you're going to have a summary of the latency and app launches, and the below is a list of all the users and their KPIs. This is an overview of all the users and their endpoints for performance. So as a desktop admin, this type of knowledge is going to be key to figuring out why your users are complaining. When we take a look at the first user, we can see that they're having an issue. So let's click on it and take a deeper dive to see what's going on. All right, so this user is probably calling in saying they're experiencing slowness or can't connect or some other symptom. This is where EG provides the biggest value. It will help answer the question, how is this end user's Wi-Fi signal? How is it fluctuating throughout the day? I can bring it up in this graph and we can see the behavior just by clicking on this graph diagram. And EG is showing that obviously due to the network on the user's end, it's because of the weak signal, a weak wireless signal. Okay. Notice that throughout the day, the signal is getting worse. The best thing here would be to work with the end user to improve their Wi-Fi or simply plug in an Ethernet cable, which in turns improves their productivity throughout the workday. So now I'm going to switch gears and move over to another user to show you some other details when we do go ahead and monitor the endpoints. So when EG does monitor the endpoints, you will have a precise inside view of desktop performance. And under this user experience or activity tab, you can take a look at things like the browser resource usage. You can easily analyze which websites they've accessed and narrow down to different windows of time and determine if that is the root cause of the issue with the endpoint. As we can see right here, this user has accessed YouTube. And we can also change the timeline if we want to take a look at the last 12 hours. And we can see exactly how many times this user has actually accessed YouTube. Within the user experience dashboard, you get a view of every user session on their endpoint. It's a valuable way to see how the session is going. And EG also shows a history of alerts for each user, the logon time, the resource usage, and more. And you can even share this dashboard out to a teammate to help them analyze and help with any issues. So here comes the question as why should you start using EG to monitor endpoints? In addition to physical endpoints, EG can monitor over 200 types of virtual machines, appliances, and applications. And by monitoring both the endpoints and your internal infrastructure, you will have a single pane of glass reviewing both sides of the coin for your issues. And then you can answer that old age question of is it the infrastructure or is it the end user system? And all of this can be simplified by using EG for endpoint monitoring. And this is a quick overview of how EG can help you with endpoint monitoring. You can contact us today for more details, or if you have any questions, thank you for your time.